Have you ever checked your bank balance and felt a sense of confusion? You haven't made any big purchases or gone on a shopping spree, yet your money seems to have vanished. It's the small, daily expenses, a trip for groceries, a coffee on the way to work, that are adding up faster than ever. What if the items we buy all the time are the real problem? It turns out, many everyday products that used to be affordable have quietly become major money drains. We're going to expose 15 of these wallet-draining items. These are the things that have gotten so expensive, they just aren't worth the price anymore. Let's find out where your money is really going. 1. The fast food fallacy. There was a time not too long ago when swinging through a drive-thru was the definition of a cheap, quick meal. It was a simple, satisfying transaction. A few dollars for a burger, fries, and a drink. You could feed yourself, or even a car full of people, without making a significant dent in your wallet. That era, however, seems to be a distant memory. The convenience of fast food has been overshadowed by a steep and often shocking price hike. What was once a budget-friendly option has morphed into a costly habit that offers diminishing returns. A value meal that now costs upwards of $15 or more feels less like a bargain and more like a miniature splurge, pushing it uncomfortably close to the price of a meal at a casual sit-down restaurant. This shift in pricing has prompted many to reconsider the role of fast food in their lives. The core appeal was always the intersection of low cost and high convenience. But when the cost component is removed, what are you left with? You're paying a premium for food that is, by its very nature, mass-produced and often lacking in nutritional value. The convenience factor remains, but it's no longer compelling enough to justify the expense. For the price of one of these premium fast food combos, you could purchase the ingredients to cook a healthier, more satisfying meal at home that yields leftovers for the next day. The economic equation simply doesn't add up anymore. The sticker shock of an $18 bill for a single person's fast food order is a powerful motivator to head to the grocery store instead. People are rediscovering their kitchens, realizing that a little bit of planning can save them a significant amount of money and provide better quality food. The fast food industry's gamble on premium pricing might just be the push consumers needed to break the cycle and invest their money and time into home cooking or even saving up for a genuine restaurant experience that feels worth the cost. 2. The endless stream of subscriptions. The promise of streaming was a revolution in home entertainment. For a single, low monthly fee, you could cut the cord on expensive cable packages and access a vast library of content on demand. It started simply, with one or two major players dominating the market. But the landscape has since fractured into a bewildering array of services, each with its own exclusive shows and movies, and each demanding its own monthly tribute. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Prime Video, Max, the list goes on. Then you have the niche services catering to specific interests, all dangling that one must-see series to lure you in. Individually, a charge of $10 to $20 a month seems manageable, almost trivial. But this is a death-by-a-thousand-cuts scenario. When you add up these seemingly small fees, the total can be staggering. It's not uncommon for households to be shelling out $50, $80, or even more per month just to maintain access to this fragmented universe of content. That translates to nearly $1,000 a year, a substantial sum being spent on digital libraries that most people only scratch the surface of. How often do you find yourself endlessly scrolling, paralyzed by choice, only to give up and rewatch something you've already seen? This content graveyard browsing has become a common ritual, turning what should be a relaxing activity into a source of low-grade stress. You are effectively paying for the privilege of being overwhelmed. The value proposition has inverted. Instead of saving money and simplifying your entertainment, you're now curating a costly, complex, and underutilized portfolio of subscriptions. Consolidating your choices or even rotating services one at a time can free up a surprising amount of cash that could be used for tangible experiences and actual fun, rather than just funding an endless pipeline of content you may never get around to watching. 3. The myth of the must-have upgrade. Tech companies are masters of creating desire. With each new product launch comes a wave of slick marketing, dazzling presentations, and a carefully crafted narrative that suggests your current device is suddenly obsolete. The latest smartphone, laptop, or smartwatch is always presented as a revolutionary leap forward, even when the improvements are, upon closer inspection, quite minimal. A camera that's a fraction of a percent sharper, a processor that's incrementally faster. These are the innovations used to justify a price tag that often exceeds $1,000. Consumers are conditioned to feel a sense of urgency, a fear of being left behind, compelling them to upgrade their perfectly functional electronics every year or two. This relentless upgrade cycle is fueled by a strategy known as planned obsolescence. It's no coincidence that your old device seems to slow down, or its battery life mysteriously plummets, right around the time the new model is announced. This isn't just your imagination. It's a business model designed to keep you buying. By making older products less appealing or even less functional over time, companies ensure a steady stream of revenue. The reality is that the performance gap between generations of electronics has narrowed significantly. A phone from 2 or 3 years ago can still handle almost every task you throw at it with ease. Resisting the siren song of the next big thing is one of the most powerful financial moves you can make. By holding onto your gear until it genuinely stops meeting your needs, you can save thousands of dollars. That money, instead of padding the profits of a tech giant, can be invested, saved for a major goal, or simply used to enhance your life in a more meaningful way than a slightly better camera ever could. 4. The high cost of casual dining. Eating out at a restaurant used to be a common, accessible pleasure. It was a chance to take a break from cooking, try new dishes, and socialize without it being a major financial event. You could enjoy a weekly dinner out without having to rework your entire budget. Today, that casual experience has been replaced by a much more expensive reality. A simple meal for two at a standard chain restaurant, not a high-end culinary destination, can easily escalate into a bill approaching $100 or more. Once you factor in a couple of appetizers, 2 entrees, a round of drinks, tax, and a respectable tip, the total climbs with alarming speed. An hour of dining can erase a significant portion of your discretionary spending for the week. The value of this experience is increasingly coming under scrutiny. For that $100, you are often served food that you could have prepared at home for a fraction of the cost, perhaps for as little as $20 or $30. Moreover, many diners have noticed a trend of shrinkflation in restaurants, where portion sizes have decreased while prices have continued to rise. You pay more and leave feeling less satisfied. This combination of high costs and diminishing returns has shifted restaurant dining from a regular norm to a luxury occasion for many people. The decision to eat out is no longer a casual one. It's a calculated choice that has to be weighed against other financial priorities. The joy of a spontaneous meal out has been tempered by the reality of its impact on your bank account, making it a treat that is enjoyed far less frequently than it once was. 5. The new car depreciation trap. The allure of a brand new car is powerful. The pristine paint, the untouched interior, that signature new car smell, it all represents a fresh start and a sense of success. However, that sensory satisfaction comes at an incredibly high price, one that goes far beyond the sticker on the window. The moment you drive a new car off the dealership lot, its value plummets. This immediate drop, often cited as being around 20%, is one of the single most dramatic and instantaneous losses of money a consumer can experience. You have essentially paid a massive premium for being the very first owner, and that premium vanishes into thin air within minutes. This initial depreciation is only the beginning of the financial drain. New cars typically come with higher monthly payments, steeper insurance rates, and interest charges that add thousands to the total cost over the life of a loan. It's a financial waterfall where your money is constantly flowing away from you. The alternative, a gently used car that is 3 or 4 years old, offers a much smarter path. These vehicles have already undergone their most significant period of depreciation, meaning the first owner absorbed that massive financial hit for you. You get a reliable, modern vehicle that performs the exact same function as a new one, but for a price that can be 40–50% lower. While the ego might take a small hit from not having the latest model, your financial health will be profoundly better. In the long run, buying used and driving your cars for longer is a cornerstone of building wealth. The money saved on depreciation, interest, and insurance can be redirected toward investments that grow over time, securing your financial future instead of just financing a rapidly depreciating asset. 6. The high price of a logo. there's a strange calculus at play when it comes to designer fashion. A simple t-shirt, made from the same cotton as its generic counterpart, can see its price multiply by 10 or even 20 times just by adding a small, recognizable logo. We are often told that we're paying for superior quality, exceptional craftsmanship, or exclusive design. While that may be true for high-end couture, it is often not the case for many mainstream designer items. More often than not, the premium is for the brand name itself, a status symbol stitched onto fabric. You are paying for the privilege of becoming a walking advertisement. This applies across the board, from denim and handbags to sneakers and sunglasses. The markup is astronomical, and the perceived value is almost entirely based on marketing and manufactured exclusivity rather than intrinsic worth. The irony is that in an age of increased financial awareness, the effect of this conspicuous consumption has changed. The days when a flashy logo would automatically garner admiration are fading. Instead, it can sometimes signal a lack of financial savvy, a prioritization of appearances over substance. True wealth often whispers. It doesn't need to shout its presence from a chest-emblazoned t-shirt. Many of the most successful and financially secure individuals opt for a uniform of high-quality, unbranded basics. Their confidence comes not from the label on their clothes, but from their achievements and financial freedom. Shifting your mindset from brand-conscious to quality-conscious is a powerful move. Investing in durable, timeless pieces that will last for years, regardless of the logo, is a far wiser use of money. This approach saves you a small fortune and builds a more versatile and sustainable wardrobe. Your money is better spent on experiences or investments that enrich your life, not on funding another brand's massive marketing budget. 7. The aspirational gym membership. It's a familiar January ritual. Fueled by New Year's resolutions and a desire for self-improvement, millions of people sign up for gym memberships. The first few weeks are filled with enthusiasm and regular visits. You feel accomplished, energized, and on track to meet your fitness goals. But as the months wear on, life gets in the way. Work becomes demanding, schedules get complicated, and the initial motivation wanes. By March or April, the gym bag is gathering dust in a corner, and your key fob hasn't been scanned in weeks. The only thing that remains consistent is the monthly charge that is automatically deducted from your bank account. This isn't a personal failure. It's an incredibly common phenomenon and a cornerstone of the fitness industry's business model. Gyms often bank on the fact that a significant portion of their members will rarely, if ever, show up. They are selling the idea of fitness and the feeling of taking a positive step, which for many is satisfied by the initial act of signing up. That $50 or $60 monthly fee becomes a silent tax on good intentions, a recurring payment for a service you are not using. Over a year, this can add up to over $600, a significant amount of money for literally nothing. The process of canceling is often deliberately cumbersome, a final hurdle that makes people put it off, perpetuating the cycle. But fitness doesn't have to come with a recurring subscription. There are countless free or low-cost alternatives that are just as effective. Bodyweight exercises at home, jogging or walking in a local park, online workout videos, or even incorporating more physical activity into your daily routine like taking the stairs or gardening can provide excellent results without the financial drain. By canceling that unused membership, you're not admitting defeat. You're making a smart financial decision and freeing up resources for activities you will actually do. 8. The cable TV anachronism. In an age where entertainment is increasingly on-demand and personalized, the traditional cable TV package feels like a relic from a bygone era. Yet millions of households continue to pay exorbitant monthly fees, often ranging from $100 to $150, for a service that delivers diminishing value. These bloated packages promise hundreds of channels, but the reality is a wasteland of reruns, endless infomercials, and specialty channels you never watch. You are paying a premium for a massive bundle of content, of which you probably only engage with a tiny fraction. It's like being forced to buy an entire bookstore when all you wanted was a single magazine. The argument for keeping cable often boils down to habit and a fear of missing out, particularly on live sports or news. However, the streaming world has caught up and, in many ways, surpassed what cable offers. Nearly every type of content, including live events, is now available through more affordable and flexible a la carte streaming services. You can subscribe to exactly what you want to watch and discard what you don't. Cutting the cord and switching to a combination of a few chosen streaming platforms can easily save you over $1,000 a year. That money can be redirected to savings, used for other forms of entertainment, or put toward any number of financial goals. Clinging to a costly and outdated service out of sheer inertia is a significant financial misstep. The freedom and savings that come with embracing modern streaming alternatives are too substantial to ignore. 9. The extended warranty wager. You've just made a significant purchase, a new laptop, television, or major appliance. You feel good about your choice, but as you approach the checkout, you are presented with one final decision: the extended warranty. For a seemingly small additional fee, you are offered peace of mind, a promise of protection against future malfunctions and costly repairs. The cashier or online pop-up will frame it as a smart, responsible choice, a small price to pay to safeguard your $500 or $1,000 investment. It sounds logical, but in most cases, it's a bad bet. Extended warranties are one of the most profitable items for retailers, and that profit comes directly from the fact that they are rarely used. These protection plans are often riddled with fine print, exclusions, and complex claims processes that make it difficult to get the service you thought you paid for. Many common issues, like accidental damage, may not be covered unless you purchased an even more expensive plan. Furthermore, most quality electronics already come with a manufacturer's warranty that covers defects for the first year, which is when most manufacturing flaws are likely to appear. You are essentially paying extra for overlapping coverage. A much better strategy is to self-insure. Instead of giving that $50 or $100 to the retailer, put it into your own savings account. If a device breaks outside of its standard warranty, you have the cash to repair or replace it. If it doesn't break, which is the most likely outcome, the money is still yours, earning interest and contributing to your financial security. By consistently declining these plans, you will almost certainly come out ahead in the long run. 10. The vacation rental reversal. Airbnb and similar platforms revolutionized the travel industry by offering a charming and often cheaper alternative to traditional hotels. The idea was simple: stay in a local's home, get a more authentic experience, and save money. For a while, it worked beautifully. Travelers could find entire apartments or homes for less than the price of a single hotel room. However, the platform has evolved, and the value proposition has become increasingly murky. What started as a budget-friendly option has, in many cases, become a more expensive and less convenient choice than the hotels it once sought to disrupt. The sticker shock often comes at the final booking screen. A seemingly reasonable per-night rate can quickly balloon with the addition of numerous fees. Cleaning fees, sometimes amounting to $75 or more even for a short stay, have become standard. Service fees, occupancy taxes, and other miscellaneous charges are tacked on, dramatically inflating the total cost. Suddenly, that affordable rental is comparable in price to a mid-range hotel. But the costs aren't just financial. Many listings now come with a list of checkout chores: stripping the beds, taking out the trash, running the dishwasher, which feels like work you are paying to do. This is in stark contrast to the hotel experience, which includes daily housekeeping, fresh towels, amenities like a pool or gym, and a front desk to assist with any issues. With hotels now competing aggressively on price and offering package deals, it's essential to do a full cost-benefit analysis before booking your next trip. When you factor in the hidden fees and the lack of services, you may find that a hotel offers better value and a more relaxing vacation experience. 11. The perishable bulk buy trap. Warehouse club stores are masters of illusion. They create a powerful sense of value by presenting products in massive quantities at what appears to be a low per-unit price. The allure of a fully stocked pantry and the feeling of being prepared for anything is strong. It feels like a smart, fiscally responsible move to buy a giant flat of strawberries or an economy-sized bag of avocados. The problem is that this strategy works best for non-perishable items. When it comes to fresh food, the bulk buy approach often backfires spectacularly. That mega pack of spinach you bought with the best intentions of making healthy smoothies can quickly turn into a bag of green slime at the back of your fridge. The savings you thought you were getting are instantly negated the moment you throw that spoiled food into the trash. This isn't a small issue. Studies show that a significant percentage of groceries purchased by households ends up as waste, and buying in bulk only amplifies this tendency. It's a classic case of our eyes being bigger than our stomachs, or, more accurately, our ability to consume food before its expiration date. The initial savings at the checkout are transformed into a hidden cost as a portion of your purchase goes directly into the landfill. A more effective strategy is to shop more frequently and buy only what you realistically need for the next few days. This might mean more trips to the store, but it leads to far less waste and ensures you're eating food at its peak freshness. It requires a shift in mindset from stockpiling to provisioning. By purchasing fresh items in smaller quantities, you gain more control over your inventory, reduce food waste, and ultimately keep more of your money where it belongs, in your wallet. 12. The slow bleed of daily habits. The most dangerous threats to a budget are often not the large, obvious expenses, but the small, seemingly insignificant ones that accumulate over time. A morning coffee from a local cafe, a grab-and-go lunch from a deli, an afternoon snack from a vending machine. Each transaction is minor on its own. $6 here, $16 there. It's easy to dismiss these purchases as trivial, a necessary cost of convenience, or a small daily treat. However, this pattern of death by 1,000 cuts is a stealthy assassin of financial goals. That daily $10 to $20 habit doesn't feel like much in the moment, but when you zoom out, the numbers are staggering. A $15 a day habit adds up to over $400 in a year. Money that could have funded a vacation, paid off a significant portion of debt, or been invested to grow into real wealth. Breaking this cycle requires a conscious effort to track your spending and identify these leaks. The first step is often the most shocking: actually adding up where the money goes. When you see the monthly or yearly total of your daily habits, it provides powerful motivation for change. This doesn't mean you have to eliminate every small joy from your life. It's about finding a more cost-effective balance. Brewing your own high-quality coffee at home and taking it in a travel mug can save thousands a year without sacrificing your caffeine fix. Packing a lunch a few times a week can drastically reduce your spending on overpriced midday meals. The goal is intentionality. By making conscious choices about these small daily expenses instead of operating on autopilot, you reclaim control over your finances. It feels like unlocking a financial superpower, transforming mindless spending into a powerful tool for building the future you want. 13. The loyalty penalty on insurance. Car insurance is a necessary expense for any driver, but it is not a set-it-and-forget-it product. Insurance companies are notorious for a practice known as price optimization, where they gradually increase premiums on loyal, long-term customers who are unlikely to shop around. They bank on your inertia. If you haven't compared car insurance rates in the last few years, there is a very high probability that you are overpaying, potentially by hundreds or even over $1,000 annually. The market is highly competitive, and rates for the exact same coverage can vary dramatically from one provider to another. What was a great deal 3 years ago may now be an overpriced policy. Taking just 30 minutes to an hour once a year to get quotes online can yield significant savings. This small investment of time can have a compounding effect on your finances over the years. Beyond simply comparing providers, it's crucial to look closely at your actual policy. Don't just accept the renewal as is. Scrutinize each line item. Are you paying for full collision and comprehensive coverage on a 10-year-old car that has a low market value? The cost of the coverage might outweigh the potential payout. Do you have add-ons like rental car reimbursement that you don't really need? Insurers often bundle these extra cost options, and they can add up. By actively managing your policy, questioning the necessity of each component, and regularly shopping the market, you can ensure you are paying a fair price for the coverage you genuinely need. It's an easy and highly effective way to plug a major, often hidden leak in your budget. 14. The obligation of gift giving. The social pressure to give gifts for holidays, birthdays, and other special occasions can place a substantial and often stressful burden on our finances. We find ourselves spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year on items that are given out of a sense of obligation rather than genuine thoughtfulness. The result is a cycle of consumption that provides little real value. How many of us have received a gift and, while appreciative of the gesture, had no real use for the item itself? These objects often end up regifted, donated, or stored away in a closet until they are eventually discarded. The entire process, from the stress of finding a perfect gift to the financial strain it causes, has become a commercialized ritual that benefits retailers far more than it benefits the giver or the recipient. There is a growing desire to move away from this model of obligatory material exchange. Deep down, many people dread the expectation of having to buy and receive a mountain of stuff. A more meaningful approach is to prioritize experiences over objects. Instead of buying another gadget or piece of clothing, consider gifting an experience you can share. A nice dinner out, tickets to a concert, or a weekend trip. These create lasting memories, which are far more valuable than any physical item. Another powerful alternative is to have open conversations with family and friends to set new expectations. You might agree to only give gifts to children, set a small spending limit, or opt for a no-gifts pact altogether, focusing instead on simply spending quality time together. Liberating yourself from the financial and mental weight of obligatory gift-giving allows you to use your resources for things that bring genuine joy and connection, both for you and for the people you care about. 15. The weight of a home that's too heavy. Your housing cost is the single largest expense in most budgets, and as such, it has the most profound impact on your overall financial health. While everyone needs a place to live, there is a dangerous line that can be crossed where your home goes from being a source of shelter and security to a financial anchor weighing you down. When your rent or mortgage payment consumes an oversized portion of your income, often cited as 40% or more, you become house poor. This condition severely restricts your financial flexibility. It leaves you with little money for savings, investments, travel, or even handling unexpected emergencies. Every dollar is already spoken for before you even have a chance to decide what to do with it, creating a constant state of financial stress. The housing market can feel irrational and overwhelming, making it seem like you have no choice but to overextend yourself. However, it's critical to resist the pressure to buy or rent more than you can comfortably afford. This is the elephant in the room of personal finance. It's a massive factor that many people overlook when they are chasing a specific neighborhood, a certain square footage, or the prestige of a particular address. Making a conscious choice to downsize, get a roommate to share costs, or live in a less trendy but more affordable area can be a game-changing financial move. It can free up thousands of dollars a month, instantly relieving financial pressure and opening up a world of possibilities. The question is not just, can I make the payment, but what will this payment prevent me from doing? Prioritizing a manageable housing cost is the foundation upon which all other financial goals are built.